Question number 3 in the series here, we want to be able to ask the seller some opinions about price. As I said earlier, we're going to go right at the homeowner who tends to say, Brian, you're the expert here. You tell us what you think the house is worth. I really have no idea. Well, we all know that most homeowners have an opinion of their price. We must get them to state that. So this question series is designed to get them to volunteer the price without really coming out and asking, what do you guys think your price is? Because they're going to say, heck, I don't know. Now, we know that some homeowners will say it to us, but a lot of them are going to hold their hand back and not tell you what they think. So, I'm looking at your tax record, Mr. Seller, and it says that you purchased it around blank date and it sold for X amount of dollars. We wanted to verify that now with you because nowadays buyers get online and they'll take a look at your public tax record, or they can see it in the MLS still to see what you paid for it. But on occasion, it's not accurate. So can I verify that around June of 2006 that you paid, looks like about $401,211 for the property? Because the seller doesn't necessarily want the buyers or us, agents, to understand, to know what they paid for the property. Like, what's that got to do with anything, what I paid for it? Because after all, I stole the property, says the seller. They may not say it out loud to you, but a lot of homeowners think they stole the property. And we want to get the reaction when we're going to verify the price and the acquisition date, but we also want to get the reaction and listen to it, especially if they say that the purchase price has nothing to do with the value today. And we're going to uncover it in some future videos here that you'll see, and that is, it has a ton to do with it, that what you paid for your property versus what you can get as a return in the marketplace. Unless, of course, you stole the property. If you stole the property or pumped it full of a lot of money, a lot more than everybody else, then your future value can be higher than everybody else's average appreciation. But if they bought in a normal market and did not do, in normal circumstances, and they didn't do any significant capital improvements, there's a lot of relevance to this. So let's get them to expose the reaction to the question, and that is, can I ask you, you paid about $400,000 for this in June of 2006. Is that about accurate? The reason I ask is buyers nowadays will find out your old MLS printout and see what you paid, or in the public tax records and see what you paid. All right, the next thing we want to ask here is, do you recall what the situation was when you bought the property? Was it a divorce? Was it a relo? Was it bank owned? We want to hear the seller say, oh yeah, this property, they were going through a divorce, hasn't been out there for 200 days on the market. You know, they were asking $450 for it, but we got it for $400. Now, the seller might state like they just stole the property because it's been out there for a long time. I know one thing, and that is if a house is sitting on the market for 200 days and nobody's getting any offers, it's overpriced. So to get a house for $400 where they're asking $450 simply means they were too high. They could have dropped their price to $415 a lot sooner and get the $400 for it. We'll go into more about that in pricing later. However, we just want to find out, does the home seller think they stole this property? But in reality, they did not. All right, the next question in this series is, oh, by the way, I'm looking at the tax records and it says your property value is about this much. Again, it's just the tax assessor. They just do what we call PFA, it seems like, which is a technical term for realtors, pluck from air. And what we want to do is find out, Mr. Seller, the question is, I'm on the phone with you, is that one assessor has it at this price, and I went to Zillow when they had it at this price. Again, nowadays, buyers want to see what the tax assessor says and what Zillow says. So can I ask you this? What did you think of what the assessor said about your value being approximately this? And it's wonderful to ask that question, what the seller says, and just wait till you ask about the Zillow. Zillow has you down at $447,000. and the seller goes, well, that's way too low. That's what I was looking for. I'm looking for the seller to respond to numbers that are in public. I'm not saying Zillow's right, or I just want to hear the seller's response. Or in this case, the seller paid $400 and Zillow says that they're worth $327,000. And I'm only asking you this, Mr. Seller, because buyers go to Zillow and they think it's real. And the thing is, sometimes Zillow is right, but many times it's not right. So since buyers go to Zillow, I just wanted to get your opinion of what that number is. These questions in this little series we just did here are powerful to get the seller to rise up and tell us what they think about what's out there in the public arena regarding their property values. We have to have this information in order to have an effective pricing presentation. We've got a marketing presentation, we have a pricing presentation. How do we give the seller a pricing therapy? We've got to have them admit and share with us what their opinions are, whether they're realistic or not. Okay, let's go on.